and welcome to Revsportz. Well, while you're watching this at 3 p.m., you're wondering why is it a night here? Because this is shot right after the match. When you will be watching this, probably we are traveling to Mumbai for the remaining 2 matches, where we would hope we win both of them, because it's a must win. Of course, you must have seen Snehashish in my video in the morning, where we have kind of spoken about what the qualification scenario right now is. But this video is about, Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain, not the batter, the leader here. Because, yes, Harmanpreet Kaur, the batter, did turn up in yesterday's game. The problem is she did turn up, but she did not finish. And the bigger problem is Harmanpreet Kaur, the skipper, lacks accountability. In the 3 games that India lost, in none of the games, Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain, turned up for the post-match press conference to talk to the media about what's going wrong, to explain what's happening. Because media and players pretty much go, it's not like the media is not trying to support the team. The media is trying to support the team. The media is trying to get answers. So ideally, Harmanpreet Kaur should have come. And the worst part is she comes for the post-match presentation and blames, each of those 3 games, she has found people to blame. First, the bowlers, then the lower order batters, then Smriti's wicket. Of course, Smriti's wicket was the turning point, no doubt about this. In fact, Smriti Mandhana came in the post-match press conference and took the blame on herself. She said, since my wicket was the turning point, that is where the innings went, downhill, I take the blame on myself. That's leadership quality. And Smriti often, when times have been tough for the Indian team, Smriti has turned up as the leader, whereas Harmanpreet Kaur has actually not been seen turning up as the leader. Same mistakes as the captain. Last game, after the Australia game, if you guys remember, we had spoken about an Ellis Perry I wouldn't say dismissal, an Ellis Perry chance that went begging down. It was in the 4th ball of her innings. Deepti Sharma was bowling. There was no slip in pace. She tried to hit a ball. There was an edge through the first slip, which wasn't out there. It went to the boundary. Same thing happened yesterday. Same thing happened yesterday during the match, where Heather Knight was new to the crease. And anybody who watches women's cricket knows that England's batting completely depends on, or over depends on, Heather Knight and Nat Silverbrand. So those are your 2 important wickets. Much like when it comes to India, everyone has plans for Smriti Mandhana because they know that India's important batter, India's most important batter or most important wicket is Smriti Mandhana. So in the same way, everyone know that it's Heather Knight and Nat Silverbrand. If you take them out cheaply, then England does not have a lot of batting depth, which they proved again during this match. After Heather Knight went out, how many runs were scored? It's for you guys to see. It's not something that is not known. So of course the Indian camp knew, and yet again Harmanpreet Kaur failed to put that slip. Yes, a lot of Harmanpreet Kaur fans will come up and say, what was Deepti Sharma doing? I completely agree with you. Deepti Sharma does need to speak to the captain, get that slip, get that fielder in. But Harmanpreet is the captain. Harmanpreet too should say, you know what, this had happened last game. There was no slip. We missed a chance. Right now, I will keep a slip. And if that was not the case, then they should not have kept the slip after the catch went by. Heather Knight, yet again in the beginning of her innings, edged one, went to the boundary right through the first slip. And after that happened, there was a slip in place. You cannot be reacting. You cannot be, captains generally keep saying that, it's a tough job. Captaincy is a tough job because you will always have to be 2-3 overs ahead of the game. But that does not seem to be the case with Harmanpreet. She's 1 ball behind the game, rather, chasing the game. Again, another absolute blunder. Renuka is your main bowler. Renuka still has an over up her sleeve. and she was bowling the slower balls really well. What do? The last over you give it to Cherny. And Cherny has bowled well till the last game, but somehow this game there was no purchase in the wicket for her. She was, and England targeted her, understandably so, because England was, having problems with in-swingers before this game, right? So they did not want to give any sniff to Renuka or Kranti. That was very clear. So if you cannot target two bowlers, then your next target will be the rest of the bowlers, in which there is a Deepti Sharma. You cannot target them. It's definite that you will be targeting Sneha Rana and Cherny. And Cherny with her, well, I still cannot fathom why did Cherny bowl the last over when Renuka still had 1 over up her sleeves. Gave away 11 runs. Well, if India were to chase 11 runs less, it would have been a different story altogether. Positive, of course, India's ground fielding was an absolute positive. But the other part is, now if I come to Harmanpreet Kaur, the batter, because I feel the captaincy pressure in the World Cup. Remember other World Cups where she has performed, she was a player, she was not the captain. This is her first ODI World Cup. T20 World Cup and ODI World Cups are two very, very distinct formats of the game. And ODI World Cup is not an easy place. The pace of the game can change at any moment. A partnership builds, suddenly the game is getting out of your hand. Something that happened in the Indian innings itself. When the partnership between Smriti and Harman was going on, every single person believed that India was ahead of the game at that point. Then comes Harman's wicket, Deepti comes in, takes some time to settle in. We are 2 steps back. Then there's a Smriti Deepti partnership and we are again ahead of the game. Smriti gets out, we go back again. Amanjot Deepti start a partnership, we are again going forward. Deepti's wicket, we are again behind. So this keeps happening, and ODI World Cup is not easy to captain. And this is her first ODI World Cup that she's captaining. She has enough experience of captaining in ODIs. She has more than enough experience in captaining in T20 World Cups. But ODI World Cup is a different, different game altogether. And it seems like she's under immense pressure. This is something that, we had discussed in the first press conference itself before the tournament started. While Chamari Atapattu looked quite relaxed, Harman on the other hand definitely did not look relaxed. Maybe the pressure is telling on her batting. Good innings from her against England, but the problem, as a captain, stay on and carry on. If not, at least the least we can expect from Harman now is a bit of accountability. Just don't put it on Smriti, just don't put it on lower order, just don't put it on bowlers, Take a bit of accountability, because that shows leadership. Right now, well, there's a lot to work on as far as Harmanpreet Kaur is concerned. With 2 games to go, with 2 must-win games to go, 3 places already, 3 semi-final slots already filled up by Australia, South Africa and England. The 4th one is going, let's hope it's India. But India and New Zealand are going to face off in almost a quarter-final battle. India needs to be on the A+ game, and so does Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain. She needs to turn out as the leader that India needs. Can she do that? Will that happen? Let's hope. We will keep watching Revsportz, because we will keep coming back and we'll keep bringing back important points. We will ask questions. We will ask the tough questions. But that's because we have been following the team from day one. I have been following the team from the Australia series. So we are putting in a lot of effort. We are trying to cover the game as much as we can. We are bringing practice sessions and everything. But when it comes to constructive criticism, that too will be there. So like, share and subscribe, and keep watching Revsportz. We'll be back with more. Thank you.